everyone, Fran here from Drone's Life with a quick new product intro.
I thought I saw a light when you passed me by. The reason why I shine, you're the reason why. I thought I caught your eyes, but love is blind. I thought I saw you smile.
He's an absolute idiot, my cat.
Quite scary because I remember crashing the whoop like upstairs in your house, and he was just sat on the banister watching me like he was about to like kill me.
Oh yeah, you were sitting on the banister, and as you come past the chandelier
genuinely
and stuff, he'll just go, take you clean out, and then just tumble down the stairs forever and ever. So, Alex, I just thought I'd let you know, you can swear on this program.
Well, I don't really curse, so it's you're not going to
fine.
probably hear that out of me, but
But
I appreciate you mentioned.
If you do it by
guys go
accident,
for it.
it's fine.
All right, got it.
And you can drink booze, but the law's different in the States. You're not old enough, are you?
No, you got to be 21 in the U.S., but I don't drink. I don't drink or anything, so it doesn't matter. But
I was going to say, because you're on a UK show and the law here is 18.
yeah, but see,
You're good to
I'm
go.
physically present here. So it doesn't. It's not how it works.
No, we can bend the rules.
You can bend the rules.
You tell that to the U.S. government. You tell that to them.
Mr. FBI agent watching right now.
Yeah, right. The one listening on my phone.
Yeah.
Big Brother is watching you.
Yeah.
So weird when Charles, when we went to Florida, and Charles, my wife there, she bought cigarettes, and they asked her for ID, and she was like, "What?" She's been smoking since like 14.
Yeah, right.
Like a compliment.
What?
Where's your ID? I can't believe it.
It's serious here.
I always feel privileged when you get a delivery from Amazon and it's like alcohol, it's like gin or whiskey, and the delivery driver has to ask you for ID when he turns up. And I feel like looking at him going, I'm 40? But I'll take it as a compliment any day. Can I have some ID, please? It's brilliant. Anyway, we are live. We went live ages ago. There you go. So we are. Thank you for tuning in for the latest episode of Drone's Life Live. We are joined by the normal team this evening. Say hello, team.
Hello.
More importantly, we are joined by Alex Vanover himself. Woo!
Hey. Thanks for having me, guys.
That's all right. That's all right. You're more than welcome.
I don't know what I signed up for.
Be scared.
Yeah, be afraid. Be very afraid. Last week we had Lexi on, which was it's Mayon High, isn't it?
Interesting.
Yeah. And she's done so many interviews, but she said they're all kind of like PC, so they're all politically correct. So no swearing, no drinking, no misbehaving, no nothing. And she said she was always sat there like sort of thing. And then 10 minutes before we went live last week, I grabbed a bottle of beer and sort of took a mouthful, and she went, yeah. And then that was it. She was gone. Off the screen and just came back with beer. It was brilliant. She's never done anything like it. And then she just started swearing and all sorts, and it was great. But there you go. So
it was amusing.
It was highly amusing. So Alex, whereabouts in the States are you?
I'm in Texas. I'm in Dallas. So I'm kind of central, southern.
Right. Okay.
Pretty much smack dab in the middle.
All right. No worries. Right. I'm going to ask you a question, right? And it's not stereotyping or anything like that, but
You go for it.
God bless my parents that are watching. Hi, Mum. Right.
Hi, Mum.
I said to my dad that I think you're from Texas. And I was right. And my dad was instantly turned around and he said, has he got what they called?
Stetson?
Cowboy hat.
Yeah. Do you own one?
Cowboy hat?
And for God, please, for God, say no, because if you say yes, he's never going to let it down in his life.
I do own one, yes.
No!
You need to get it.
I can't. I think I haven't worn it since I was like 8 years old. So like, it's not like I've actually bought a cowboy hat in the last 12 years.
Is it close
or
by?
ever bought one?
Is it near you?
No, I mean it's not. I mean I had it for probably like a children's play when I was 8. So like, you know, it was for that. To be fair, I live in an area. I live in Dallas, but like it's Dallas Fort Worth, DFW. So like Dallas is very like hip, and then Fort Worth is like country, like very, very country. It's like the start of the Wild West.
Right. Okay.
And so if you go to Fort Worth and like I'll go to like country dance bar or something, you'll see every male wearing a cowboy hat, every single one of them.
But not
And
where
so,
you are.
Not where I mean I'm kind of like in the middle actually. It's like I literally see both types of people, I suppose. I see both stereotypes. It's great.
So if you go on a journey across to the other side, then do you put it on to go across?
No, I don't put it. No, I don't. In fact, I don't think my hat would still fit on me. I think my head has gotten too big.
Why?
Oh, man.
Is your hat nearby?
No, it's not. I'm not at my house actually, so no,
Thank
it's
God
not
for
nearby. And if it was, I still would not go get it. I would refuse.
What gives you the idea that would ask you to go and get it?
I don't know. I guess I just assumed, right? Totally.
I would have.
Yeah, right.
So, you're Dallas. Oh God, I can see the questions popping at my dad's head right now. Right, bear in mind, my dad is 76. I love him to bits. He's going to be going Dallas. What about Dynasty?
Oh, God.
I can see it. Is that too far? Is that too before your time, Alex?
Yeah, it is definitely before my time, without a doubt.
That's good, because then we don't have to answer that one,
Without
and
a
I
doubt.
don't have to put up with him phoning me tomorrow going, "I told you." And you don't do line dancing or anything like that, do you?
No, I don't do line dancing. I do a little bit of like we call it two-step dancing, which is like country dancing, I guess. But like it's not line dancing. There's a big difference. Like when you country dance, it's just like dancing with a girl, but that's it. That's all it is. Except it's more country. Like you're listening to country music, and then that you're wearing like I'm wearing cowboy boots probably. So like that's basically it. But there's a big difference between like swing and line dancing, and then like what I do. What I do is like very casual.
Right. Okay.
So there's a big difference.
So. I can see I can sense the dreaded phone call tomorrow. It's going to be horrendous. I told you so. So how old are you now, Alex?
I'm 20 right now.
You're 20. So it is legal for you to drink. Do you drive?
I do drive. You know, I just got a car and a license and everything like literally less than 3 weeks ago.
Right. Okay.
And I'm 20 years old. And no, it's not a Tesla. It's a Hyundai Kona.
Is it a Prius?
It's not a Tesla. It's not a Prius. No. No, it's not a Prius. It's a Hyundai. It's
which one?
great.
Which Hyundai did you buy?
It's called the Kona. Kona.
Oh right, yeah. I think I know it. Very nice.
I want to see a drag for
A what?
versus Steel's XD.
Oh gosh.
Oh, God. Oh dear. Right. So how has lockdown been treating you guys over there, Alex?
Lockdown's been, you know, it depends on where you go in the United States. which take it as you will. But like here, it's not bad. Like for me, I actually had a great time during quarantine. Like to be honest, like just not traveling. After traveling since basically beginning of 2018 nonstop.
Yeah,
Like it was great to just have time at home, honestly. And I didn't realize how much I really needed it until quarantine. And then besides that, like we're able to go out. We have to wear masks,
Yeah.
which is fine, and we're social distancing and everything like that. But it's just kind of become the norm. Like I lived in Korea for 3 months back in 2018, and there when people got sick or there was air pollution from China, like everyone wore a mask. So for me, it was new to see it here, but now it's just become the norm, and I don't think Corona's going away anytime soon. So I'm just don't spend your time waiting for the rain when you could be enjoying the sunshine, right? So I'm happy with what we got.
Because obviously you were due to come on 2 weeks ago, and obviously you weren't feeling well.
Yeah.
And you went. Did you go for the COVID test?
Yeah, and it was negative. So.
What did you think?
That's good, obviously, but it's just hard to tell. I didn't think I had it, to be honest. I didn't. The problem is there's so many similar symptoms of it going around. Like you could basically. So I don't know. I didn't really have much to think about it. Of course, I don't want to get it by any means. Like I don't think anyone wants to get it. I don't know if any of you guys have had it or whatnot, but like I know people who've had it, and it's been very mild for every single one of them, which is great to hear.
Yeah, because I did the test over 6 weeks ago. I did the test at home, and and it came back. It came back that I had it.
Oh really?
Yeah. But I was ill back in February, and I thought it was just a really bad case of man flu.
Right.
And put me in bed for a week, and then got over it, sort of thing. But I kind of went for the test, and then they said, "Oh, you've already had it." I was like,
"Oh, nice." So was it an antibody test, or was it just like a COVID test?
Antibody test.
See, we don't have anything that's FDA approved in the U.S. right now, but I would like to get one because I came back. I mean, I'm not going to tell my story, but long story short, I think I've had it as well because I was sick back in January after coming back from China, like directly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think I possibly had it, but I'm not going to assume that I've had it until I know that I have the antibodies.
Yeah, I mean, God forbid, we don't wish it upon anybody to have it because it's, it is life threatening. So, but enough about COVID because that's misery in itself.
Yeah.
We're not here for misery. So.
Not a depression session.
It is. And I'm not playing. I'm not playing Councillor Shane all night. Alex, where you're living, are you still living? Because every video that I see of you on YouTube, where you're living is kind of very industrial. It's almost like an airfield, or it's like a hangar. Are you still living there? Are you?
Yeah, I'm still living. So I live on a private airport. So we have a house inside a hangar.
Right.
And so that's where I live. It's an awesome blessing because I can just walk outside and fly and do all my training and do all my testing that I need to. And it's in a great location too. Like none of the pilots get bothered by it. They know who I am. I think if it was anyone else flying, then maybe we get bothered. But like I've been flying RC airplanes out there since I was 10 years old. So like they're very familiar with me. So it's not uncommon for them to see anything remote controlled.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, that's right. It's where I fly right now. So I'm super excited about that. And very thankful for the opportunity.
Because you fly real planes as well, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I've been flying real airplanes as well for about 10 years, but I got my license when I was 17, so in 2017. And then recently, through quarantine, I've been doing a ton of real life flying. If anyone follows my Instagram story, it's basically 95% aviation content and like 5% drone. Like I've just been really enjoying flying recently.
Yeah, because
obviously
there's no DRL this year. Well, there is.
There is.
It is virtual, isn't it? This is where he can't say
I'm gonna get it. I you know what? Yeah, you have to keep your eyes out because listen, in all seriousness, anything's possible. Like anything could happen, rather. So like, there's a chance we may not have a real life racing season, but they are on track to have real racing and simulator racing.
Right.
They're gonna do both.
And you're confirmed.
So it's gonna be hybrid.
And you're confirmed for next year's season to defend your title?
Well, this year's season, yes. I'm confirmed for this year.
Right. Okay.
So like, because I won last year, so and then obviously we'll see how this year goes, and then potentially come back next year. So
Right.
we'll see. I don't even want to think about next year yet. I just want to think about right now and just like having a season and getting to race with the guys. Like I haven't had a drone race since the last race I had was DRL Singapore exhibition race, which was in November last year.
Right,
So
okay.
like, and that was right after our multi GP championship. So like, I haven't done any racing in a long time. I practiced. I've stayed trained, but like, I'm just eager for competition.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've just kicked off the UK National Championship. Last Sunday was our first event. That's where it all kicked off first. And Harry Holmes won that one, didn't he? He did, wasn't it? It was Harry Holmes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did. And Brett, the Collis Badger, came second.
Oh yeah, because Brett's come over to DCL as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, Brett's on DRL now.
Yeah. Have you raced against him yet?
I've only raced against him in DR1, but I have an insane amount of respect for him because he's one of those guys who he's really good at spec racing or stock class racing, where like it's basically the same drone. And I can see that in DCL, at least from an outsider's point of view, like obviously we know as people who have raced in here that like, what happens behind the scenes may be different than what you see on camera, but ultimately from what I've seen in DCL and the people I've talked to, he's really unstoppable in DCL. So of course that's a good concern for me in DRL because I think he's going to bring that same energy, and that excites me because obviously he's a very fast European pilot, and that's just going to make the whole competition and the whole level of the show go up even more. So I'm excited.
Because there are some races at DRL that I've seen where you are. I know. I mean, we've spoken to Nurk already, and we've spoken to Jet, and there are some sections of that race and certain tracks that you are just unstoppable to the point where they're sat there going, "How is he so fast?" You have the same drone. It's why are you so much faster than everybody else?
Skills.
Is this a question?
Yeah. Give away your secrets.
I don't know. I think it's. I don't think it's anything that I've done. I know that's gonna sound kind of weird, but just bear with me. Like it's nothing I've done. Like when I raced, it's me just trying to do the very, very best I can. Obviously, like anyone else is. I think the difference happens in the preparation behind the scenes.
Right.
So I was very blessed. Like last season when we had the first DRL race, which I won, but it was very, very, very close and a little lucky. What happened was I trained like for 3 weeks before, and I was training like typical multi-GP technical courses. And I showed up and I realized that the tracks in DRL are way bigger and way more up and down. So you can't train just doing gravity gates and like Jacob's ladders and spirals and corkscrews. Like that's not going to help you in DRL. So one thing that like I think would help me do better later on in the season, like in some of those, I guess, elements there you were talking about or asking, is just getting a location and just training those types of elements in my mind and really figuring out how to manage the racer for his energy because it's very heavy.
Yeah.
So just trying to figure out how can I carry momentum the best that I can. And I tried to design my tracks to replicate that to the best of my abilities. And also I'm very thankful that I don't have my full-time job is drone racing, or in drone filming. So ultimately, compared to these other guys, I had all the time in the world on my hands. So I would literally fly from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and maybe take a little break for lunch. And my only goal was to win the world championship. So that was my motivating factor. And I knew that if I trained really hard, I still may not win, but at least I will go home satisfied knowing I gave it my very best effort. So that's kind of my mentality.
Absolutely. Is there any one of the DRL pilots that you don't like?
I like everyone, honestly. There's one I don't like. People get under my nerves, but like I'd probably get under everyone else's nerves as well. So no, I don't have any bad, or even for any moment, bad feelings towards any of the guys, because ultimately we're just flying drones, right? And we're very like I always try and have a thankful. I've struggled with this, but I try and have a thankful attitude that like I'm just there racing. Like I don't have to be here. Like I didn't have to get invited. I didn't have to win this race to get here or whatnot. Like I'm here. So what's the point of like being mad at someone or having like it's gonna have rivalries. Like there's a difference. Like for example, Heads Up and I have a rivalry. That's different. But like no, I don't have bad feelings towards any of the pilots. Sometimes they get a little under my skin when they like try and rig a race against me or something. But
with all the trash talk.
Yeah, the trash talk gets a little annoying because like I mean, on one hand I could return the favor, but on the other hand I don't want to do that. So sometimes it gets a little annoying, and I just have to, in that moment, just not let it get under my skin. But
yeah, because there was one episode where one of the pilots he was really having a go at it, and I can't remember who it was.
Flexi.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's the guy that won the DRL sim, wasn't it, to qualify?
Yep.
Yeah, he was really having a go at you, and then you just like, meh, sort of thing. Because he did win one round, and then the very next round you just came back and literally just hammered him, and then he was just kind of sat there going,
Well, and that's the thing. That wasn't even me trying to be arrogant or anything. I mean, to be fair, I did struggle with pridefulness last year a little bit. And maybe more behind the scenes than I did publicly. But ultimately, like if you're, I just don't get trash talk because, especially, just ever. There's no, even if you can back it up, there's no point. Right? There's just no need to do it. And so like Flexi was just trying to get in my head.
Yeah.
Which is to be fair, he was using that as an instrument and a tool for me to not fly my best. And I don't know. It just, I try and, when I show up to a DRL race and we're actually sitting in the chairs and we're about to fly, you have to take all the emotion out of it. You can't think about winning or losing or anyone else. You have to think about your race that you're flying, and that's it. You can't think emotionally. You start thinking emotionally, you make bad decisions. You can't let people get eaten. Like knowing, the only thing I don't like about people trash talking is they can be very two-faced. So like behind the scenes, we all are very loving to each other. But when someone gets out there and starts, saying bad stuff and whatnot, it's like, what? Why didn't you say this backstage? It hits my face. But no, it is what it is. It's just a part of it, and I hope drone racing doesn't turn into a reality TV show. But I think this year DRL's brought on a bunch of really fast top pilots, and I think the competition is going to really be amazing if we have a season.
Yeah. So I've seen some of them in the sim, like online, and you just think, it's hard to keep up with what they're doing. That's the thing. Right, Alex. Have you've seen bits of the show before? Right. Do you know? Have you seen the parts about the 3 questions?
I have not.
You have not. I was kind of hoping you were going to say yes, because then this wouldn't be so awkward for me.
Whatever. I have no expectations.
Oh, you have no idea. Right, there are 3 questions we ask every celebrity pilot that comes on here. So we ask the same question to Steele, to Nurk, to Jet, to Lexi. All right. The first question, right? This has. Can you see the stream from where you are?
I can see. Are these appropriate questions, by the way?
Yeah,
Please
absolutely. They're appropriate questions, but there's a leaderboard to this.
Okay, got it.
Right.
I can only see you. I don't see anything else, but.
No, if you can see the live stream, you'll see it come up.
The live stream. Okay, let me get out my phone. Sorry.
Right. Okay. So this section is what we call the bitch slap leaderboard. Now, you can name any pilot that you like that you can give a good old slap across the face to.
I don't want to slap anyone.
But
come on, don't be boring.
Don't be boring, because currently at the moment you are top of the leaderboard.
People want to slap me?
Not, and I'll express this, not because they're saying that you're a bad person or anything like that. It's because they can't beat you in a race.
No, I'm not worried about it. I guess if I had to choose, okay, so like I see the leaderboard. So this means who do I choose? Do I just get to say?
You can choose any one of those, or you can choose someone completely new. It's totally up to you. I can tell you who voted for you.
I would love to know who voted for me.
I gotta remember now.
There, is that right? Yeah.
Right. The first one was Steele.
Steele?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Just purely because he said you were cocky.
Oh, really? Okay.
He said you were very good, very fast, but you're just cocky.
This is the king of cockiness. What?
Yeah, I know.
Something Steele would say. Got it.
And the second one was Jet, I believe.
No, it was Nurkler.
Oh no, sorry, no, it was Paul Nurkler. Again, because you beat him at TRL.
That's fair.
Okay, so I have to choose any name.
Yeah, you can name one of those, or you can name somebody completely new. It's up to you. But you know, if you vote for Schizo, he goes top.
Yeah, but
I'm not suggesting anything.
it's just like, so dumb. To be honest, okay. I guess I'm gonna choose Steele because Steele, like literally everything you just said, he described about me. I would describe it. I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't choose anyone, but I guess I'll choose Steele. He needs to be on this list.
Yeah,
he needs to be on this list.
He is very cocky. You gotta give him that. He is the man of, how can I put it? Stupidity. When it comes to FPV, is that right? Is that the right word? Maybe not. So right. So you're adding Steele. That's fine. That's great. That's right. Right.
There we go.
We'll get to that. Right. Question number 2.
More questions.
Right.
There's 2 more.
He's psyching himself up now, isn't he? Right. What is your best pickup line?
My best pickup line.
I had to explain to Steve what that was.
I would actually, after this, I'm gonna have to go back and listen to some of these other guys' ones. Oh man.
Because you've got a girlfriend, right?
I'm dating someone. Yes.
Yes. There you go.
I am
So what was the pickup line that got you that date?
There was no pickup line.
That's a lie.
It's definitely a lie.
I promise you.
Is she watching this? Because you have to be very careful.
You know what my okay? I guess I don't have my best pickup line. Isn't it's you guys are gonna boo it, but it's not a pickup line. This would be my pickup line based on my experience. I would say like it's not a pickup line. Like I never had a pickup line. I think pickup lines are so dumb because it's just I don't even want to get started. But okay. That's the thing. I don't think like that, so I don't have to think. Oh, it'd be a pickup line. I don't know. I'm always very complimentary, so like, I don't. Most of the guys are probably like, "Hey, you want to go out on a date with me or something?" Like, no, it's not. So I would probably say
the Jet strategy.
That was me trying to imitate Jet. So that's really funny.
Jet maneuver.
This hurts my brain. Who thought of these questions?
Me.
Believe
it or not, this one is actually the hardest one to answer.
Like when I went out like I asked if you wanted to go get coffee, like and talk. That was my. You don't need a pickup line.
Okay.
If you need a pickup line to win over that girl, then you're kind of. I think most pickup lines are kind of stupid, obviously, if not all of them. And B, she's not the right one for you. There we go. There's my you don't get your answer.
Wise words there, wise words.
I think that was
Chad Noax.
Wise words. I think it's just never mind. That's my logic.
Chad Noax was what was his he said I'm kind of a big thing on the internet, don't you know?
That's very much okay.
Steele's was just hey. I think it was just hey, and that was it. And Nurk stole the line from Joey from Friends with how you're doing sort of thing.
I think my pickup line actually, if I were to think of something really stupid, I would say it'd be like, hey, you want to learn to fly some drones? I don't know. Like it'd be something stupid. I would never use a pickup line ever. Let's do that. I would never use a pickup line.
It's like one of the hardest questions ever to answer, don't you think?
I mean, it's not a hard question. It's just I guess I don't have an answer. I guess you're right. It's a hard question, I suppose. It's a hard question for me to answer.
It is when you put on the spot. When you put on the spot like that, your mind just goes blank.
And If it was pretty much any other question, it's not that my mind goes blank. I think it's just like the question itself doesn't. I don't know. Yeah, it's great. It's a great question. Great question.
Are you ready for the third?
Hey, wanna fly some drones?
Right. The third question is, what is your thoughts of pineapple on pizza?
Oh, I do not like pineapple on pizza.
Oh, boo!
Oh, that's instant. No delay there at all.
That's one I could do a whole PowerPoint presentation on. Like there is pineapple on pizza is wrong. There's nothing wrong with pineapple. It just doesn't belong on pizza. And I've spoken in this speech.
You're not vegetarian, are you?
I'm not vegetarian now.
No, good man, good man. Everybody loves a bit of meat. Do you like do you like sweet and sour chicken?
What chicken?
Do you like the sweet and sour chicken? Chinese?
Not really. I don't like Chinese food. When I think of sweet and sour chicken, I obviously think of Chinese food.
Oh, that's just killed that whole argument.
I like literally any other Asian food, but China.
Right. Okay. So pineapple pizza is a no. Do you not like carrot in cake? Is he gone?
I think it's froze. Yeah.
He's frozen, isn't he? He's doing Lexi's trick, isn't he? Oh, he's back.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, he's broken up.
Back.
Ah, there you go.
There we go.
Do you like carrot cake?
It's coming across on.
Yeah.
Alex, do you like carrot cake? Or is that a big no-no as well?
I like carrot cake, I suppose. Yeah.
See,
I'm not. I like cake. So like, it's too hard. As long as it doesn't have nuts in it. Like I just don't like anything with. I don't like nuts in it. I have a whole rant about nuts. Like it's not that I don't like nuts. I just don't like nuts in most of my food.
Okay.
Because you don't want to crunch. Like the problem is like if you eat cake, cake is supposed to be like a soft texture, right?
Yeah.
But if there's nuts in it and it disturbs the flow in your mouth of just like this nice smooth, I'm chewing, and all of a sudden crunch. It's like a landmine in your mouth. Straight up a landmine. You out.
Oh my God.
Not a fan.
Nuts landmine.
That's the best way to describe them. I like nuts. I'm not gonna lie. Daniel, behave. he's crying there.
Oh yes.
This is too funny, mate.
It's too much for him.
I'm definitely gonna do a Drone's life out of context because I've got like
so much footage.
There's so much content to go through.
Oh gosh.
Oh dear. Right, Alex, let's talk a bit like a bucket list.
Ooh.
And Daniel's taken it out of content already. I can see him. Right.
I didn't even take that out of context.
No, you didn't have to. I could see you crying in the corner of the screen. Have you got a list of places that you want to fly, but haven't yet?
Yeah, I do. I actually. So yeah, I actually. Okay, so I have like my list of places I want to fly or places I just want to go. So I have this. I've had it since I was a kid. I have this big map in my room, and so it's got like obviously the whole world map on it. Actually, the nice lady I'm dating got me these pins. So right. So we what we did was we take the pins like for the place I've been, and then also the places I want to go. So I want to go to Ireland. I want to go to New Zealand. I'm blanking. I want to go to the Pacific Northwest in the United States.
Right.
Yellowstone and a bunch of other places. I could probably go on and I want to go to South America. It's like Sao Paulo, and fly there. I like trees and I like mountains and I like ocean. Like I have a great thing about flying over water. It's just the risk factor is really there. But like water with like big cliffs. Norway's another one of the places. I think FPV in Norway is like, I think Norway is like one of the best places in the world to fly FPV. Actually, it seems like for getting footage at least.
Those big mountains.
I think like from Norway. Yeah, right. The mountains and the waterfalls are so gorgeous. So.
Yeah, I've seen a lot.
Why is Bridlington not on that list?
I've seen a lot of footage lately from the White Cliffs of Dover.
Wait, what was not on the list that should have been on the list?
White Cliffs.
Bridlington.
The what?
Oh, okay. The UK.
There's no mountains. That's fine.
Oh.
No, there's not much for the fly around here.
Yeah, try come to Vale of York, it's all just dead flat.
That's where Daniel learns how to flippy flop over trees. He's not saying a word, is
That's where
he?
it's at. That's where it's at, mate. Open fields and a few trees. That's where it's at.
Shut up. You're such a wet fart. Oh dear. Have you never wanted to go to like places like Chernobyl, things like that?
Yeah, I know people who've talked about like they want to go to Chernobyl, all these crazy places. I don't want to get radiation, and not that I will, but like I don't want to get radiation anytime soon. And honestly, like it's the only thing about going to places like that are just to say that you've been there. Like I wasn't, but even the Duga dive, like that was probably the coolest part about going somewhere like that. You know, the Duga dive that the road ride guys did. But like going and flying in Chernobyl, there's nothing about that really excites me. I would love to go fly a volcano. That is one thing I would love to do is go fly a volcano, like Indonesia or something like that. Would love to do that.
Wow. Yeah, I'm just thinking like a proper active volcano. Would it ever come back with all that heat?
That's not the point.
But you would never get the footage.
It's a sacrifice.
You'd never get the footage, would you?
You have DVR.
Oh,
DJI got the DVR. Let's go.
Yeah, but DVR is so crap.
Okay, but you're flying in a volcano. What's the point? It's not. You have nothing to compare to. It's better than nothing. And if you get it back, it's free. No gain, without pain.
Yeah. So no, I did lose one the other day. I'm a quad down. I did lose one the other day. 3 miles out.
Oh, that's why.
400 feet.
Yeah, sorry, 400 feet out. I wasn't upset about the quad so much. I was more upset about the GoPro 8 that was sat on top of it.
Yep, I know how that goes.
And then probably the 6S Thunder Power pack that was also sat on the top of that.
because it cost 50 quid on like a China hobby line.
Oh, you would have 20 for that price, wouldn't you? Yeah, it was 1500 Ultimate Sweetness HV pack.
Yes.
And I'm almost sure it was its first flight.
Oh.
That and a GoPro that was, what, 2 weeks old?
Ooh.
Brutal.
Where did you lose it?
Dartmoor.
Dartmoor?
Yeah.
I don't even... Where is that? South.
Yes. Very south. Problem was, I didn't have my champion spotter with me.
Yeah, that's it. Or GPS.
GPS. Or DVR.
GPS is for pussies.
GPS if people want to keep their quads or find them if they crash inevitably.
Nah. No one needs a GPS. All you need is a metal detector.
Jesus Christ, you're going to be walking for a long time.
Yeah.
You're walking. The justification is like, you know, I don't need no GPS, and then the response is, oh, just get a metal detector.
Yeah, but a GPS wouldn't have helped.
Yes, it would. Yeah,
in this case, because he got his battery to minus 25 volts.
Metal detector's only good if you know relatively where the drone is, like within a few, what is it, meters over there? I don't know. That's the point. But like, if you don't know where it is, it's like it could be anywhere in the next 20 miles. You're gonna be walking for a decade trying to find it. You may walk right over it 100 times and never find it.
But it's worth it, right?
No.
God,
No. Yeah, well.
Yeah,
well.
That's a
was you running Kiss in it by any chance?
No.
You were running Kiss?
No,
you wasn't. So you had an OSD on board?
Yes.
So how did you manage to run your battery to 0 volts?
Right. Okay.
That's a good question.
This may not be good in my favour. Right. Okay. I took off, and Steve, that was with me at the time, I said to him, "Keep an eye on me. I'm going to go that way. Let's turn around and come back." All right. My spotter. Well, first of all, the SD card in my goggles failed. So when I went to play the DVR back, it just said card error. So I was down that point, which is just unfortunate. Steve, who I spotter, has DJI goggles, and I'm using analog, so he couldn't see me, but he failed to tell me once I was 3 miles out. To the point where I turned around like halfway through the pack and went, right, okay, I'm coming back. And he went, yeah. Because I turned around thinking I was facing coming back, and I wasn't. I'd literally gone out 3 miles and then went sideways another mile, to which point then the battery just like dropped below 3 volts and it just tumbled out of the sky.
Send me the DVR. Send me your takeoff location.
And you got to come there with your freaking metal detector, aren't you?
We'll deploy the metal
detector.
You're such an idiot,
Google Dartmoor, Dan.
Dartmoor.
Just Google Dartmoor and have a look on a map.
I kind of think he feels like I've named my back garden Dartmoor.
Yeah.
He's just going to come there and go,
never leave a quad behind.
You never leave a quad behind.
You never leave a quad behind, ever.
It's fine. It was one of Jet's frames, so it was on a project. It was a Project 399.
Ooh. Oh, hello. Shots fired.
Which actually brings me to the point. Alex, you've started selling ready-to-fly quads, haven't you? Did I see a post that you're building Project 533 frames, all built with all your gear on it? You tuned it, and you can.
Yeah, exactly. So it was kind of like not a joke, but like it was kind of like a test the water. So like I was like, I have 2 quads because I don't like selling stuff that like I got for free. I had 2 quads when I was testing all that gear that like, with the exception of like the motors and maybe the camera, like I paid for everything. So I decided like, I wonder if there's any interest, and I see people are charging like $600 for a bind and fly quad. And I know the cost on all these parts, as some of you guys probably know as well. And I'm like, you know what? I might make less money, but I can build 10 of these things in a night and then make good money selling them. So I was curious, like, okay, can do some good tuning on like 4.2. And I had like 18 people message me. I was like, oh, okay. And it was like, I was just like already doing 100 other things. Like last week was a very busy week for me. And my phone's just blowing up with people just like messaging. So it's great. So I'm going to officially go public with, I don't want to make it like a business. I don't know. I feel like if I make it a business, it'll drop the value. I kind of like what Steele does, where he does like limited runs. So like you go on his Instagram and he posts on his story, like, I have a quad for sale.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Right. Because like I'm not doing this as a full-time, like selling quads for a full-time job, but probably in, I would say a month from now, probably that gives me realistic time. I'm going to have like 20 quads built, some racing quads. But a lot of people are messaging me, like, actually we're asking if I could put DJI in it. That was very interesting. So I'm going to have a solution with the Cadex Vista to be able to run in the race quad, which I don't think there's any bind and fly racing quads with HD out there. So I think that'll be really cool.
Yeah, no, I don't. Because you've got your own motors.
Mm-hmm.
You've got your own props, which I've just got, actually. I haven't got any to
hand.
Oh,
sweet.
So yeah, we've got the Vanover props from Azure here. You don't have... Well, actually, who sponsors you for ESCs and flight controllers?
So I fly the Brain FPV flight controllers, the Radix.
Okay. And who gives you ESCs?
Hobbywing ESCs, Brain FPV flight controller.
Yeah. So Hobbywing seems to be kind of a big thing in the States.
What's that?
I was going to say Hobbywing seems to be a big thing in the States.
It is. It's really popular. Ever since last year, it seems like everyone runs Hobbywing. Yeah. But I will tell you, the company that's up and coming is Newbie Drone, and their ESCs are really good.
Yeah.
Like their stack that they're doing with the DJI is great. And that stack is actually what I'm going to be using in the quads with the DJI system, because it's literally plug and play. Yeah. And it's super reliable. Because like the only thing with the Hobbywing and like the Brain is it's not very, I mean, it's compatible with DJI, but there's really no good way to power it. And also, it's not plug and play. So,
right, okay.
But I think still for analog racing, it's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the hype over here at the moment is Acon ESC and flight controller.
Yeah, Acon.
Yeah, nice.
See, I say no more.
Rock solid.
So, but you don't have a frame either, do you?
I had a freestyle frame, and I've actually had a racing frame and a freestyle frame. I had a race frame with X Hover. I was with X Hover for 2 years,
Right,
all the
okay.
way. My last two races with X Hover were actually the Birmingham race, and then the 2018 championships race. Those are my last two on that contract. And then they were moving into the filming freestyle side of things, which if any of you keep up with them, they're doing very well at. Super happy for Daniel and them. But then I went to Flight Club and I didn't want a race frame made. I wanted a freestyle frame because I kind of envisioned switching over to that. And my content for freestyle does insanely better than it does for racing at this point in time. And that freestyle frame was like perfect. It was very simple. It didn't look like anything crazy, but it was just exactly what I wanted, fit all my gear. And then one day I get a call from Mike. He's like, yeah, so like I'm getting kind of out of the drone side of things. So I'm like, okay. So now I'm frameless, I suppose. I mean, I fly the switchback frame for racing, but I'm don't have a dedicated freestyle frame right now. Like I still have the ones that I have, and I can get China to cut them. Like I can get them straight from China, but I probably won't like go with a freestyle frame or like do another signature frame for a long time.
Right,
It's a lot of work. And
I think you need a neutrino.
Yeah.
A what?
A neutrino is the hype.
I just
neutrino.
It's so. Is his accent, Alex?
Yeah, I was like,
no,
what?
I was about to point that out. I'm like, it's the British accent that I guess I'm too American. I don't know.
Yeah, when we spoke to Nurk, he explained how accents in the States change from your area to New York,
Yeah.
and then up to Philly, where in the UK it doesn't really change from south to north. It just changes in every city.
Really? Yeah, because you guys are such a small country.
Sorry, say again.
You guys are such a small country. How in the world does it change at all? Like
exactly.
One across the country.
With the
like,
first.
yeah, like one wheel across the country in like 10 minutes, but like United States is like an eternity.
Yeah.
So I'm as south. I'm not as well. I am very south, but I'm not the most south. James is kind of just above me, and he's a lawn to himself.
Yeah.
Right. It was right. Daniel is in. Daniel, where are you? With that stupid accent, where are you?
Where am I?
Yeah.
Yorkshire.
You're in
Yorkshire.
God's
country.
He likes Yorkshire tea, right?
God's own.
So where are you?
I'm in Cumbria, so that's way up north.
So he's further up again, but
Way up to north.
he's quite not Scotland yet.
Not yet.
Kelsey and Malk are in Warrington, which is kind of Liverpool area, if you kind of know where that.
Sandwich right between Liverpool and Manchester.
Northwest.
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Hey.
The Beatles territory is where they are.
Got it.
And one guy that's not here this evening, which we know it is Stephen, but he is as far north Scotland as you can go.
Oh, nice. Real strong accent, I imagine.
Yeah, like, big bushy beard, drinks iron brew.
All of the above.
But he does have the Isle of Skye up there, which we are all completely jealous of.
Huh.
Yeah, I love it there.
Because Mark's been there, haven't you, Mark?
Yeah. Beautiful.
nice.
And if you check out Stephen's YouTube, you can see the epic dives on the cliffs that they've got up there. It's just heaven. Completely. Right. One thing we haven't talked about, actually, Rotor Riot. Because you're a big part of Rotor Riot now, aren't you?
Yeah, actually, I'd say I am. I've been official team pilot since March of last year, something like that. I don't know. I've been kind of involved with them for like 2 years now.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah, I'm very happy with them.
If you,
what do you want to know? What keywords do you want to know?
like I say, if you get a chance, ask Drew to reply to my messages. If they've all been delivered, he hasn't read them.
Drew doesn't read my messages either. It's okay.
Oh, does he not?
Don't take it personally.
Call him 12,000 times in a single day.
And
He's a very hard worker, though, to be fair. He
I
works
can
very
imagine. Absolutely. Yeah. So, what's the best episode you've created with Rotor Riot?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say. Okay, that's a good question. We did I think Octocopter was really fun, like flying a mini Octocopter.
Oh yeah,
I
remember that one?
Because what actually happened, most people don't realize, but like we lost almost all the footage for that episode. So like there's a lot that's missing, which I kind of like because there's just some great memories that I don't think the camera would have captured accurately.
Right.
So like to me, that was really, really fun to make. And then when Drew and I did all the content in Croatia last year, that was just such a fun trip, and those episodes turned out really good. And then surprisingly, some of the most fun episodes are the simple ones that we've been filming for a whole day, and we think, let's make one more episode. What can we brainstorm? So for example, we did in January before COVID, we filmed like 4 episodes in 1 week, and which actually isn't that much relatively speaking. But out of all 4 episodes, like we did like flying with a Nest controller, which took a lot of effort. We did old drones, which took a lot of effort. And then I came up with the idea, like, let's race a DJI quad versus an analog quad, right? We just need to put the same motors on, same weight. And that episode took maybe 35 minutes to film. We did 3 batteries on each, and we were done, gave our thoughts. That episode is like 250,000 views, or probably not that much, but it's like crazy. The one that required the least amount of effort, the one that we did not think would be like a banger or whatever, was literally the best episode, and it was the most fun to make. So I don't know. I'd have to really think. I have to go back and look at the list of episodes I've been a part of and see which one. We did one more I'm thinking of is have you ever heard of Dude Perfect?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we did Drone Perfect that was my first Rotor Riot episode I think I was a part of. And it was just really fun because it was so stupid because like we overhyped everything, but like we were genuinely hyped. Like over everything, because like it didn't look epic to any non-drone pilots. Like we were flying tiny whoop, like doing these wall rides in the warehouse and everything. And a lot of these tricks took so long to do. So when we got them, like when you watch it, you're like, that doesn't look that cool. But like it took so much effort to make them work. And then the video did like okay in views, but it was so much fun to make because we were just having fun and enjoying the hobby.
I remember one that you did with. I think it was Drew and Jet. You were at a theme park.
Oh,
and there was that kind of arch structure.
Yeah.
And you were diving it. Well, you were practicing on diving the outside of it before you actually dived the inside of it. But I think Jet gave you his frame to fly, didn't it? Because you didn't want to trash yours. And he's like, no, fine, just take mine.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. The reason I didn't even think of that was a great episode, but I had a rough day. Like I had 2 drones. I tried to dive it with my brand new HD drone and smashed it. And then I was just literally flying around with my brand new freestyle quad on analog, like brand spanking new and everything. And I clipped the very, very top of that arch thing, like 400 feet up. I don't know what that is in meters for you Europeans.
No, feet's good.
Yeah, whatever. It's someone's got to be wrong. So anyhow. 400 feet up, and literally the drone came down 400 feet and just smashed it in a million pieces. So I wasn't having the best day. Like I was not happy filming. But then Jet gave me his drone, and he's like, "You're not gonna break it." He's like, "You'll be fine. Like it'll be fine." And so all right. And so I was able to dive it. I wish I could have actually pulled out, but I knew the likelihood was almost impossible. So it was fun. That was a good one. Yeah, his frame didn't really break. I think it like cracked the front, and that was it. I couldn't believe it. Like it fell 400 feet into metal and like did nothing.
Wow. You know what question's next? And what's the worst episode you've made with Rotor Riot?
The
worst?
Yeah. The hot wings.
Do you ever think of like you've made one and you just kind of come off and you think that was utterly boring?
There's been a few. It's funny because like Drew and I oftentimes when he'll get so amped up for an episode and I'll just be like, I don't see it. Like I don't see the vision. But one thing Drew's good at, like the episodes that I don't get hyped up about usually do very well. So Drew's got this really good. Drew's like this amazing producer in the sense that he's got this vision and he can't explain it to you at all. He just tells you to get on camera and act like you're enjoying. And I'm like, I don't get what's a good episode example. We just filmed some more episodes that'll be coming out, so there'll probably be a few. Oh yeah, we just did one on a boat. We were flying this aqua drone.
Yeah.
And I just didn't see the vision. Like he was so amped up about a drone that was waterproof. And I'm just like, it's okay, it's a waterproof drone, cool. But then when I got behind the sticks and flew it, like, and it was behind the boat, like flying through the water and everything, and you're flying with no fear of going down. Awesome. I was like, all right, I get it now. Like, there's other times where I still don't get it. Like I just think it's like total, like what are we doing? But most of the time, what I've learned in the last like year filming is every time I've been thinking that episode is going to be a terrible episode, it's a great episode. So I just learned to trust in Drew's producing abilities. Try and come in with the absolute best attitude I can, and not try and think in the moment that like, oh, this is going to be bad or whatever. I just try and have the best attitude I can.
Does he edit all the videos as well?
No, Chad Capper's son edits. He's one of the editors. He's the main editor. He is a phenomenal. He deserves more credit than he gets. He is a phenomenal editor.
Right. Okay. Cool.
What about
right. Go on, Daniel.
Rotor Riot PC.
Sorry, say again.
What did he say? What about the Rotor Riot PC?
What about the Rotor Riot PC?
Yeah.
I really don't know where he's going with that.
I don't know where you're going either.
Wait. There's now a PC.
There is.
Built by Rotor Riot, so why should I buy it?
You should buy it because it's satisfaction guaranteed.
Plugged like a true employee.
to be truthful, I don't know much about PCs, so I'm not the one I don't know anything about the specs. You know, so I don't know. You would read the specs. And satisfaction guaranteed.
What they've done, Daniel, is taking what they've done, Daniel, is taking the headache out of building a PC if you don't know how to build a PC and you want a PC for sim racing and stuff like that, and then it's good to go out of the box. That's what they've done.
Did you see the petition that says Drew has to edit all of his videos on the Rotor Riot PC?
Does he?
No, but someone started a petition for it.
For God's sake. Oh dear. Right. Are there any questions in the chat? Because I haven't been keeping an eye on it, to be honest. Let's have a quick look because we are almost out of time.
Is Jay Red in chat?
Trying to come back.
Sorry, say again, Alex.
All right, I'm back. I don't know. Internet's so they're actually doing construction downstairs. So if I'm down there, it's good internet, and it's gonna be like, wow! We'll just ghost in and out.
It will just ghost in and out. Dear me. Right, I'll just check in the chat see if there's any questions from anybody else. Daniel, Sol, or Malcolm, Kelsey, or James got any questions for Alex?
Yeah, Vanover props. Were they designed around the 2207 status size?
It literally cuts out. What about the 2207s?
Your props, are they designed around the 2207 status size?
I'm back now.
You're back now. It's gone again. Now, Daniel was asking, the Vanover props from Azure, were they designed around the 2207 motor status size?
Yeah, they were. So they were literally designed for that KV, for that stator size. Like if you fly something close to a 2207, 1860, 1900, they fly really good. Like on I guess I'm spilling secrets. There may be a V2 Vanover motor in the works, and that's like more like a 1900 kV, just a tad more punch. And they really fly, like they fly amazing on my motors, but they fly really good on the V2 Vanover motors, which I don't even know when those are going to be out. So they may never come out actually, because like right now I love my V1 motors and I have them on all my quads, and I don't want to like do a new motor for that reason, because there's nothing I really wanted to change other than just to say, oh, I have a new motor. So no, they fly great. To actually answer your question, yeah.
What KV is the V1?
1860.
1860. Oh, okay. So it's only a small increase then.
It's not bad. I didn't really. Okay, there is going to be a V1.1 bell that's going to be for sale. It's going to be fully compatible with the or like the new version of the motor. It's fully compatible with the previous one. It's the same exact KV and everything. We just redesigned the bell so it's a little bit stronger and lighter. So you can save 4 grams on your quad by just switching all the bells. So that's cool, and they fly the exact same.
Right. Okay.
The lighter, more durable. But I am testing higher KV options because I'm doing this. I don't know. I'm trying to. I really like the way a slightly higher KV is flying. Like it just feels really good. So,
is anybody here flying the Vanover props?
Yeah.
Ah, so is.
Yeah, I flew them on freestyle and racing.
Freestyle and racing. Did you use them at Laxton? Yeah.
Yeah, I used them at Laxton. Yeah.
Right, okay. Cool.
we're going to be releasing an updated version. It's going to be the same exact prop except just a tad bit more durable because the first batch apparently some people are having durability issues. So I tested them, and I think there was like it depends on what color you got. You might have got some like undurable ones. So just if you're having durability issues, it's not going to be fixed in the future. But basically, they just on like 2 of the colors or whatever, they changed something in the production and messed it up. So there you go.
Okay, so who's my Azure ref again? Let's go back to him. Which colours? Alex says that 2 of these colours are duds.
I don't think those ones. I think red and yellow are like no go, but I think the blue ones and like the clear ones are the way to go.
Oh, you say that? Hang on 2 seconds.
You're gonna check.
He's just gonna snap them and see which one works.
Clear are meant to be the strongest because they haven't got any additives, isn't it? They haven't got any extra stuff added to them.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's the purest form.
I'm using the red ones now on a freestyle frame. Oh, by the way, plug Neutrino, in case you didn't know. And I've hit loads of stuff with them, and they've been perfect. There's not a scratch on them.
That's good. Glad to hear it.
The Azure red is the best colour ever because it's like orange, pink, purple, red all at the same time.
He's a simple man, Alex. I do apologise.
I am.
But the further north you go, the worse it becomes.
They look mint.
There's a question in the chat from Phoenix FPV. Alex, what's your best tips for racing? I guess for general racing rather than someone that's starting or someone that's already in there.
For improving?
Good tip. Yeah, for improving.
Yeah, I would say that 99.999% of pilots, in my opinion, don't fly smooth. So I would recommend people fly smooth, and the best way to do that is to like tell yourself to literally not touch the controls. Like you literally, if you fly your quad up in the air, I'm sure everyone's done this, and you like let go of the controls, the quad goes in a line whenever you point it, and it's smooth. So like do that when you're racing. Only do necessary inputs because you're gonna fly more efficiently when you do that, and you're gonna get better battery time, and you're gonna be less likely to hit something. And I think that's a big tip I'd say. And then try and plan your next gate ahead of time. So like before you go through the gate, think about where you're going after that. And so try and line yourself up for the gate where you can take just the most straight line to the next gate, I would say. And then I think another general tip for people is just have fun. Like don't get stressed. Like I see people locally who just get like really invested when they have like a crash or something. And I'm like, we're flying drones. Like we built these drones with parts we ordered from China and waited 3 weeks to get. Like they just have fun, you know?
Yeah.
So just that's the biggest thing. If you're not having fun, you're doing something wrong. And I have to hold myself accountable to that all the time, to be fair. But it's a big tip.
Great tips.
Sometimes you can't help but get stressed if you're having technical problems.
Yeah, that's true. Build multiple quads if you can. That's my best piece of advice. I don't show up to a big race anything less than 10 quads because I know if I'm having a really, really bad day, which I have had, I can trash 8 quads and I still have quads to fly. You know what I mean? Like, wow. I know everyone can't do that, but if you're at a top level, you should have at least 6 drones, I think. That's just my opinion, at least. But I know not everyone can afford that. And I know it's even like, I think there's a misconception too. Like when I build 10 quads, like for nationals, people automatically assume that like I got all those parts for free, and that is not true. So And I think people should realize that. It's just, for me, it's an investment into myself. If I fly better on race day because I'm not stressed about my gear, then I'm going to do better. So for me, it's an investment in my own time. That's the way I look at it. I think we have a similar attitude.
And do you tune each of those quads separately, or do you just tune one and then copy it over?
Yeah, so I start with tuning one, and I put that on all of them because generally I just like to get in the air, as we all know. But when I go to a big race, I tune every single quad individually, and we show up a day early to the race location. Like when I go to Korea or I go to Istanbul or anywhere in the U.S., and I retune the quads there per atmospheric conditions. I guess I like to brag. I don't want to brag, actually. I pride myself on trying to have the best flying quads because I fly really well when I do that. And so I'm very thankful that I have the ability and I know how to tune, and I can go to an event and spend the time beforehand tuning it. Because for me, I can fly a stock quad, but I personally do very well when I have something tuned the way I exactly want it. And so I'm very thankful I've been able to do that in the past.
So if you take 10 quads with you, how many batteries do you take with you?
Usually 15 to 20. 15 to 20 batteries.
I kind of, when I did my first race, I kind of panicked about the whole thing, and I literally took like 20 packs with me, all charged, ready to go. And then, but what you don't realise is that you do your first round, and then you've got like an hour wait before your next race, and by that time you've recharged that pack.
Yep.
And then you're like, why do I need the other 19?
Yeah, but think about it like this. So when you are like in a qualifying, like where you're talking about, you only fly once an hour, maybe, if that.
Yeah.
But when I have two things. So I have race batteries and I have practice batteries. So I have batteries that are only meant to go fast. Like they've not been abused. They're brand new batteries. And then what I do when I'm at the race, you have to think about it like this. If you make it all the way to like a top 16 bracket, double elimination bracket, there's instances where, like, for example, they do a restart, right? And they might do 2 restarts or 3 restarts. And that's every time you do that, I put a brand new battery on the quad, right? So I think about it like that. Like, it's very easy to go through 15 batteries for me. Like at this last nationals, we had 15, 20 batteries. And I mean, we were using all of them. I mean, relatively speaking, it's just good it feels good again. You want to another racing tip is just over prepare yourself if you can. Way over prepare yourself. Because you're going to be less stressed on race day when you're more prepared.
Do you overcharge your packs, don't you?
No, I used to overcharge.
I used to.
That is fake news. That is fake news. I used to overcharge my packs. I can't say I haven't done that in the last year, but I don't overcharge more than like 4.25 volts per cell. Like, I just don't.
Right, okay.
Like, I would... Yeah, I don't even want to get started on that. I've been trying to burn that bridge down for like 4 years now. And a bridge, and it's not happening. And it's funny, like Minchan at the I Series race, he had never overcharged a battery in his life. And I like taught his dad. This was stupid. Like I could have won that race had I not taught Minchan how to overcharge batteries. Well, anyhow, I taught Minchan's dad. Minchan's dad came up, no English. He's like asking me to show him on the charger. And like I told him a tip, like if you really want to overcharge it, you can set it to nickel metal hydride and like boost it up. And his dad was charging those batteries to 4.8 volts a cell. This is not an exaggeration.
Oh, right. So that's why it caught fire mid.
Yes.
Race, then.
Yes, it's like why it caught on fire at the ice.
I was there. Yeah.
I
Pinned
actually
it into the wall.
dropped your sign.
Oh, Chelsea. Oh, I forgot about that. I remember signing that. Oh,
Yeah.
That's sweet. No, that's why Minchan's battery caught on fire.
Yeah, that is the prize. It's got you, Minchan, and Barney on.
Ooh,
Who went running onto the track and lobbed it out of the fire door?
It's Ben, wasn't it?
Was it Ben? I think it was Ben. Yeah.
Ben.
Yeah. Because I remember once at iSeries you flew a race. All right, you took the pack that you took off your quad. The guys doing the live stream, Elliot, it was, said, "Oh, can you sign your pack and then we'll give it away on the live stream?" And of course, this pack that just came off your quad was red hot, and it was sizzling. It was just sat there sizzling, and they're going, "You can win this pack," and it's going.
That was a fun race. I really missed. That was one of my most. I'm not saying this to plug in UK. That was one of my favorite races to date because the format was brilliant. I mean, you qualified and then you raced. Like I got to race Min Chen over and over and over again, and like we both improved. I mean, he obviously was better, but like we insanely improved over the weekend. And I, for once, outside of practice with him, got to get better. Like I had someone to follow, like over and over. It wasn't like we met in the final event, like the very final race. Like we got to race all that format was brilliant. I love that format. The only thing I didn't like too much was like the finals itself format, like the 5 races and points. Right. I wasn't and also I'm biased because I didn't win, but I wasn't happy with like the race resets, partially because even though so like when Min Chan's battery caught on fire, there was like a whole rule book about like what happens in that situation or something. I read it all. But like I knew behind it, like I had to keep my mouth shut because I love Min Chan and I wouldn't want anyone to do this to me. But like I knew what they were doing. Like his dad was literally, it's past the event now. Like, they would check your battery, right? What they would do is they would check his battery and then like they'd walk away and then Min Chan's dad would take another battery out of his pocket and put it on the quad. It was a 2-minute race. Oh, that was what irritated me. Yeah, it was a 2-minute. That was the only thing I didn't like. It was 2-minute finisher lap. And I'm like, we can't do this. And Min Chan and them were like, no, we're doing 2 minutes because we prepare for 2 minutes. I'm like, guys, you don't because I was not overcharging like that. So I knew it was physically impossible for me to beat Min Chan because I knew he was overcharging to 4.8 volts a cell. And it was very frustrating to think about. I got 1 win on him, I think. And that was one of the happiest moments of my drone racing career. Like, no overcharge. I was like, all right, this is great. I can walk away from this event with this one. But he was like, his dad was like sneakily like taking another battery to the quad. And
I can't believe he was doing that.
And he goes, what? He mentioned playing dumb. Like, what? What's wrong?
I can't believe his dad was doing that. That's really sneaky.
Oh, Koreans are very sneaky. This is not to talk bad about Koreans. They are actually one of the most honorable people, if not the most honorable group of people you'll meet in the world. But they are very competitive. And so there was one Korean race I went to. It was the equivalent of like your local UK meetup or like multi-IGP meetup, but it was in Korea. It wasn't an international race. I was the only international pilot there. And watching how competitive a local race, like, by the way, like you go to a local race, you see like average local pilots and everything. In Korea, local races are like the fastest guys in the world. So, so you race there and like everyone is so competitive. Like every kid, like it's not even the kids. Like I think the kids really like each other. I call them kids because they're like 14 and 13. But like the parents get so competitive against each other. Like, and it's just like, it's so insane. And I'm just there just having fun. Like, I thought I was competitive until I went to Korea. And I'm like, no. They take it very, very seriously there.
Because I keep forgetting that you actually trained with Min Chan, didn't you? For a section.
Yes and no. There's actually, I don't know if I ever told the full story, but so I went there to train and then I was there for a week. And then the 2018 FAI Gwacheon race happened. And that was like the biggest race in Korea that year. And Min Chan and I trained the whole week. And to be fair, like the Koreans replicated the track. So I got to fly that track a lot, which was good. And but so did Min Chan. So it kind of evened the playing field. We get out there and long story short, I beat Min Chan at that race. And it was great for me. It was not good for him. But once that happened, I only trained with Min Chan like a few weekends, the entire rest of the trip there. Right. Because his dad did not want him training with me because his dad was very smart and I couldn't deny this. His dad knew that Min Chan wasn't really getting faster training with me, but I was getting way faster training with Min Chan. And so we only trained together when it was like a group of us. And even then his dad would like, if I was flying, his dad would like unplug Min Chan's quad. He's like, no. Like it made it really hard to train. But like his dad was so loving to me at the same time and both of his parents and so was Min Chan. I did get to spend a lot of time with him, but I didn't get to I got to train at his field. I never posted videos because like it just didn't compare to his. But that was one of my favorite. I told like Propsicle and Neukul and some of the fast young FPV racers in the US, I'm like, if you get the chance when you're like 18 to go live in Korea or something for 2 months, do it. Because you'll learn so much and you'll grow so much as well.
Damn. So, last question quickly because we are massively over time. Have you got any GoPro footage that you're not allowed to show, but you have done?
Yes, lots.
Lots.
Both for not. I'll start off with for work, yes. For DRL, yes, and then also I know which one you're talking about. Yes.
What do you mean? No, I don't know what you mean.
You'll have to tune in next time.
Yeah, absolutely. There's the fun. Right, we must go because we are massively over time. We're a quarter of an hour over time. Alex, I want to thank you so much for coming on. As embarrassing as it is for you, and the 3 awkward questions caught you out. But that's what it's there for. You know, it catches everybody out, and it's all a bit of fun. So we want to thank you for coming on. You've been an absolute gentleman about it. So a couple of announcements quickly. The Droneist Life British National Qualifier is now 9th of August. And if you haven't noticed, in the top right hand corner of the screen there are a list of sponsors that are now cycling around that are sponsoring the event. So the prizes are going to be epic for the winners. Sign up for that event is now Friday, or this Friday coming at 8 PM. So if you want to attend that event, then that's when the tickets go live. On top of that, next week on the show is Eric Konasti. So you need to check out his YouTube channel if you want to have a chat and join in with him. But other than that, it's a goodbye from the team.
Goodbye, team.
Goodbye. And a massive thank you to Alex, and a goodbye from Alex as well.
Thanks, Alex.
Thanks, Alex.
Thanks.
Woo!